First, let's begin with this. Things have certainly changed in this election season. The Republicans' dreams of taking back the Senate had originally focused on flipping just one seat and taking the majority, like Georgia. But now they have to hold a seat. It's a new focus. And we're talking about Pat Toomey's seat in Pennsylvania. After a bruising primary session, Dr. Mehmet Oz won with just 36% of the vote. The rookie politician found himself down double digits to John Fetterman. But since, things have radically changed. Democrat candidate for Senator Lieutenant Governor Fetterman suffered a stroke before the primary. He had to take weeks off the trail. But the lead was so big, they thought they could just ride it out, stay in the basement, pull a Biden. But Republicans rallied around Dr. Oz, and Fetterman has been forced to campaign. And his performance has been less than stirring and reassuring for Democrats.
The Eagles are so much better than the Eagles. Telling you that you're not fit to be served. Send us back to New Jersey. Send me to D.C.
I always thought I was pretty emphatic. I think I was very, empathetic.
Well, the yawning gap has closed because of performances like that, along with the exposure of John Fetterman's past. The guy is weak on crime and admits it.
I'm actually effective on crime, and I believe in second chances, and I've run on that record.
Right. So murder one and murder two, really? Is this the time for second chances? He's also against the lifeblood of the state, fracking.
And I said, you know, the president's team is around with fracking as a wedge issue when no one cares about it right now with the pandemic and everything going. And I want to clear that up. Like, I'm not pro-fracking. You know, I signed the no fossil fuel pledge before the cool kids were doing it back in 2015.
Really? Cool kids don't like to frack. I didn't know that. As usual on the left, you are not to believe your eyes or your ears. Fetterman is fine. His beliefs are mainstream. But the problem for Democrats and John Fetterman is he is not fine, and he's not in the center. But don't you dare point that out, even if you are from a friendly network.
Walk me through why we need the closed captioning, how it works.
Yeah, it's really just how things happen, because I sometimes will hear things in a way that's not perfectly clear. So I use captioning, so I'm able to see what you're saying in captioning.
And Savannah, we did find that in small talk before the interview, without captioning, it seemed it was difficult for Fetterman to understand our conversation.
What's wrong with that report? Perhaps most alarming was the reaction to the report itself, not the content of the report. They decide to attack the reporter.
Lots of other journalists who had interviewed Fetterman unleashed on her.
I actually thought it was inappropriate that she said during small talk before our interview.
Maybe she's bad at small talk. Maybe it was her.
Maybe it's her.
Other journalists who've also dealt with Fetterman came forward and said they had a different experience.
Good to have her on my team. Blue check liberals on Twitter also wasted no time slamming the reporter for her accurate account of what she experienced. Journalist and podcast host Kara Swisher writing this: sorry to say, but I talked to John Fetterman for over an hour without stop or any aids or any nonsense. Maybe this reporter's just bad at small talk. Haven't I seen this playbook before? Yeah, Joe Biden, the Biden basement plan. And now the Democrats are going back to that plan. I guess, after all, it did work. Maybe they can strike, maybe lightning will strike twice.